entry at the center then becomes this gathering space. Then you proceed dining. We've taken out of the educational block and put it front and center. And then we've continued to a corridor which connects to the new auditorium here. Next one. On the second level, one of the things we tried to do, again, like we have dining up front, was put the media, because this is such an important part of the school program. The media and the technology studio spaces would be here with a special reading room as part of the media center right at the entranceway that you would actually enter under into the main court. Second level is a similar plan as you saw on the lower level, upper house, lower house, and then science in this case in the center. Next. And at the very lowest level, as you know, you're moving down the hillside. The auditorium, these are the band practice rooms. We have art and music at this end. The auditorium is here, the reconfigured lockers, and of course, a refurbished field house at this point. This is, of course, a drop-off that it will still be maintained for the buses. We have a separate entry which can be used for all of the athletic facility as well as for the auditorium. So the auditorium begins to function with its own lobby at that location. These are just a quick, one of the things that we have to do is lay out every single classroom in the building. I'm certainly not going to show you all of those, but for example, typical classroom, there could be many arrangements, but for 25 students and a teacher, these are around 920 square feet, containing smart boards and the usual modern school facilities. The science, the next rooms would be the science classrooms. One of the things is to combine both teaching space as well as lab workspace, as you see here. These will be around 1,200 square feet. Next. The band room, for example, which will hold 115 students, will be in this configuration. And I mentioned the auditorium. With a large stage area, we have seating for 750 and a total capacity of around 800. Question is, what are we going to do to make the building be a little more a piece of architecture in the community and open up for the interior? You see these two views. This is looking back at the academic block. And this is the existing entry when you come in. The proposal then with the new addition is to make that two-story bridge. You see that special reading room in the media center is here. You walk into this lobby and then there are stairs up to the 2 levels from the main entry. The main thing on the exterior has been to lower the window sills so that a normal window sill height rather than being over your head, to actually increase the area of glazing and add new openings as necessary. Next. If we look at the main entry, the top image is of the entry as it looks now, as you approach the school. The concept here, again, as I mentioned, is to make this a 2-story piece. This is the entry. The media rooms are above, the media center, dining at this level. New auditorium is here, and the art wing at this end. And there has been some comment about the green. We understand the blue is going to hold up fine, but the green we're still investigating. We're early on in the process. So as we look now, this is the existing bus entrance. Again, we'll be dealing with the art classrooms and band room at this end, and in the background you see the media center. So a very kind of a simple approach in working with the building, enlarging windows, really developing a very simple new addition. Next. This is a sketch. This is existing entry, of course, and a view as you would approach the new entry. You see a great opportunity there to introduce seating and a much more friendly approach to the school. This will ramp up so there will be no steps. It's universal access in, and of course there will be an elevator service in several places in the building. Cafeteria with a sort of food service at this level, and then again the media center above. This view begins to show what I was talking about in opening up the center of the building so we can bring light in and bring some light into the classrooms even on the first floor level. In this case, we're looking at the stair connecting the upper school, the 2 levels of the school itself, looking at the skylight above and light coming see this circulation space, of course, will have lockers, there'll be some seating, and really can function for the entire school. Next. And just one other view of the entry now. This will be looking back, as I mentioned, this will be the double height space, which allows some gathering and informal performance to go on. Looking back out at the main entry, media room at the upper level, and food service here, and administration on the opposite side. Next. A couple interesting things. Sustainability has become a major topic of any new project these days. One of the things the Mass School Building Authority does, which is very significant, is give us an extra bonus if we actually include what we have as a CHIPS program, which is energy efficiency in the building itself. So by this score, which is about 44 points, which is much exceeding what we need for gaining this extra 2% funding from the state. So we're going to look at a lot of things. These interior light wells that I showed you go a long way toward helping us bring natural light, cutting down energy usage. Solar voltaic panels we're looking at on the roof as a possibility, and a number of other systems that we would apply to the building to keep that long-range maintenance cost down as far as possible. Phasing is always a challenge. One of the things about this scheme, it does allow us fairly straightforward phasing. We see 3 phases being necessary. You see, just to take the top row in the darker color, we'll be providing all the new space will be in the first phase, as well as refurbishing the field house. We're in the second phase. When this is completed, of course, we can move things out of the main building, especially food service and media, and then we'll do half of the classroom block in the first phase, and the second phase rather, and then simply move to the other half in the final phase of completion. In order to do this, the purple represents kind of the excess, so we will be moving the 9th grade off-site out of the building, and then of course they'll spend 1 year there, and then they'll go to the main building. So each of the 9th grades will be off-site as construction progresses. Next. And that's pretty much it where we are at this point, and that's the plan that has been presented